Okay, good morning students. Today our topic is collisions. What is meant by collision? Collision is a interaction among the bodies. Interaction means either is in physical contact or non-physical contact. Non-physical contact. So here we are discussing the example for first non-physical interaction. Suppose you are taking the two magnets like this. These two magnets, North Pole and North Pole, they brought nearer to each other. Then they get repelled. So these two magnets are not at all getting in interaction. Okay, even though they are not at all interacted physically, but they are able to move back. This is also the one type of collision, but non-physical interactive collision. But here also you can observe in charges also. Two charged bodies having the same charge get repelled. This is also same example. So whatever may be, leave it. Physically interactive collisions we will discuss. So we are observing in day-to-day life, two vehicles are getting into accident like this while we are playing the carom board. So we are striking the coins by using the striker. These are all the examples for collisions. Okay, now in this collision, it is classified into two types. One is the elastic collision, second one is the inelastic collision. But in elastic collision, momentum and kinetic energy both are conserved. But in non-elastic collision, only the momentum is conserved, but not the kinetic energy. But not the kinetic energy. In inelastic collision, the kinetic energy will be wasted by producing the heat, sound, or utilized in the destruction of the system, whatever may be. So here we are discussing first momentum conservation. Conservation of linear momentum. Let us discuss this one. First of all, suppose you are taking a body like this. This is a body. This one is another body. Like two spheres having the masses m1 and having the mass m2 like this. These two bodies are moving with velocities u1 and moving with velocities u2 like this. If u1 is greater than u2, u1 is greater than u2, then automatically the m1 block slowly collides with the m2 body. Why? Because u1 is greater. So here first we are considering these both bodies are moving along the same straight line. Same straight line. That is called head-on collision. Okay? If they are moving like this, they will be collided somewhere. Here they are getting collided like this. This is nothing but two are collided. Here M1 and M2. So they are collided during the time period of delta t, that is time of impact. After the collision like this, again they are moving with some another velocities. This is the block m1 and this one is the block m2. They are moving with velocities v1 and v2 like this. Okay, so here consider two spherical bodies of masses m1 m2 moving with velocities u1 and u2. After some time they get collided. Why they are collided? u1 is greater than u2. Otherwise there is no chance. After the collision, they are moving with velocities v1 and v2 in the same direction. Okay, that is we are considered already head-on collision. In this situation, we are applying the conservation of linear momentum. From conservation of linear momentum, you can write from conservation of, here law, that you can say law also, law of law of conservation of linear momentum. From law of conservation of linear momentum, m1 u1 plus m2 u2 is equal m1 v1 plus m2 v2. So what is the statement here? the initial momentum of the system is equal to the final momentum of the system. That is, initial momenta of the all particles of the system is equal to the final momenta of the all particles of the system. That is called law of conservation of linear momentum. Here from you can take the different cases. Suppose one body, only case 1 you can take here, case 1. So one body like this. This is having the mass capital M, moving with velocity u, and exploded. It is exploded into two pieces like this. Exploded into two pieces. So they are having the masses m1 and m2, but they are moving with velocities v1 and v2 like this. So exploded like this. So explosion means generally first one particle moves in the forward direction, second particle will be in the backward direction. That is natural. Both should not move in the same direction. In this situation, you can apply this formula. This is m1 u1, that is m into u is equal m1 v1 here like this plus m2 v2. But here backward direction, so you have to mention minus. But before the collision, one body is considered. That's why you should not use m1 u1 plus m2 u2. This is the total mass multiplied by initial velocity is equal minus m1 v1 plus m2 u2. This is case 1. Next you can discuss case 2. Case 2 means two particles are moving with different velocities. After the interaction, they get combined. If they are combined, then what will be the formula? Suppose two particles like this. These two are having the masses m1 and m2, moving with velocities u1 and u2. After the interaction, they combined to form a bigger body. Here from you can say this is m1 plus m2. This is moving with a velocity of v1 like this. Okay. Here from law of conservation of linear momentum, m1 u1 plus m2 u2 is equal to m1 plus m2 into, suppose v, that you can say this is v. V is the velocity of the combined body after the interaction. So in this way you can take the different cases in the law of conservation of linear momentum. Okay, after that one we come and discuss the ballistic pendulum concept. That is a very important one. But ballistic pendulum means a bigger block, but it is made of wood. A bigger block, okay, suspended by means of any thread. Suspended by means of any thread. So let us consider a wire like this or any thread. A bigger wooden block is taken. It is suspended by means of a thread. And also just we are firing a bullet from the left hand side. Then the bullet gets embedded into the block. Then automatically due to the impact, the block rises up. This is the condition. This situation is known as ballistic pendulum system. Let us discuss here what we can say. This is the ballistic pendulum. This is the roof like this, or rigid support. Let us consider some thread and it is connected to a bigger block like this of mass capital M. This is the length of the thread. Like this. Suppose you are going to fire a bullet. Like this. A bullet is fired like this with a velocity u. Okay. So then after getting fired here, it gets embedded into the block. Gets embedded into the block like this. Then due to the impact, the velocity pendulum rises up. Velocity pendulum rises up like this. This is the combined bodies of two block as well as the bullet. In this situation, this is raised by a height of h. Raised by a height of h, and it is making an angle of theta with the vertical. This is the situation. Theta is the angle made by the block, okay, when it is raised. So like this. Now you are writing the four cases. First of all, we are applying the conservation of linear momentum. That is here m into u is equal. First of all, you can write m plus m into v dash. M plus m into v dash. Where v dash is the velocity after the impact. After the impact like this. First one. Next one, this is the one formula. So you can write here velocity v dash is the velocity of the block velocity of the block after collision. Okay, after collision. Next one, again we are applying the same thing, mu. This is momentum of the bullet. Momentum of the bullet is equal m plus m into, this is root of 2gh. Root of 2gh. So why we are writing root of 2gh? When this block raised like this, this block raised to a height of h, then you have to calculate the h. You have to calculate the h. If height is asked in the problem, then mu is equal m plus m into root of 2gh. Here we are writing h. Height raised by the block. Height raised by the block. Next one, if it is rotated through an angle of theta like this. Then third one, from conservation of linear momentum, mu is equal m plus m into root of 2gl into 1 minus cos theta. 1 minus cos theta. Very important. Suppose the angle through which the body raised is asked in the problem. Then m plus m into root of 2gl into 1 minus cos theta. Where small m is the mass of the bullet, u is the initial velocity of the bullet. Both are combined. Why? Because the bullet get embedded into the block. So both masses are added, under root of 2gl, where l is the length of the pendulum, theta is the angle. So like this, here we are mentioning theta is the angle made by the pendulum or block, made by the block with vertical. We have to mention vertical. So like this. Next, last one. Suppose it completed a vertical circle. This block completed a vertical circle. Vertical circle means it is raised like this. Raised here, it is raised like this. It is completed a vertical circle. Vertical circle is a concept involved in the rotatory motion of a body along the vertical circle. There already we studied velocity at the bottom must be root of 5gr. At the top, this is root of gr. So that formula we are using here. Then mu is equal m plus m into root of 5gr. Here instead of the r, we are writing l. Why? Because r is the radius. Here length of the pendulum itself is the radius of the circle made by the block. So this is the formula. So here writing here That is, if the block completed completed vertical circle. If the block completed vertical circle, you have to use. So from the velocity pendulum, we have to remember four cases. First one, mu is equal to m plus m into v dash. V dash is the velocity acquired by the system after getting collided. So next one, mu is equal m plus m into root of 2gh, where h be the height raised by the pendulum. Third one, mu is equal to m plus m root of 2gl into 1 minus cos theta. Theta is the angle through which the pendulum made with the vertical. So last one, mu is equal m plus m root of 5gl. If the block completed a vertical circle, then mu is equal to m plus m into root of 5gl. Now let us discuss next concept is coefficient of restitution. So what is the coefficient of restitution that we have to understand? From the definition, you can define the coefficient of restitution as it is the ratio of relative velocity of separation to the relative velocity of approach. Now it is defined as the relative velocity of separation to the relative velocity of approach during a collision. So you are writing here coefficient of restitution, that you can write coefficient of restitution E is equal V2 minus V1 by U1 minus U2. Here V2 minus V1 is the relative velocity after the collision and U1 minus U2 is the relative velocity before the collision. Okay, now like this. So this is the very important one. After that we discuss about the coefficient of restitution. That there is a formula. Let us consider a case like this. Suppose a ball or any spherical object is dropped from certain height. It is dropped from a height of h1 like this. Now because of the collision or interaction with the earth, let us suppose be raised to a height h2. This is the h2, raised to a height h2 like this. Now it is fallen from a height of h1, hits the ground and rises up. But here one thing, some of the bodies can rise to the same height, some of the bodies will rise to certain height, some of the bodies will not rise. There are the three cases. But if it is able to rise the same height, it is a elastic collision. If it rises to certain height, small height, that is a semi-elastic collision. If the body does not rise up, this is the inelastic collision. For example, a very radium ball, it is a high quality ball among the all. If it dropped from certain height, it may be expected to the rise to the same height. If it rises to the same height, dropped from 10 meters, rises to the 10 meters, then it is perfectly elastic body. Suppose another rubber less quality ball dropped from 10 meters, rises to a height of 4 meters, then semi-elastic body. Third one, a shot put made of iron dropped from 10 meters, it does not rises even a single centimeter. That is perfectly inelastic body. We will discuss later. Okay. Now here, why they are doing like that in different manner due to the coefficient of restitution. Suppose a body dropped from a height of h1, it rises to a height of h2. May not rises to the same height. Here like this. Then from this one, coefficient of restitution is equal v2 minus v1 by u1 minus u2. Here 1 means the first body. It is represented by the spherical object. What is the second body? Earth is the second body. The ball and earth are getting collided with each other like this. That's why even though the ball hits the ground, there is no change in the velocity of the earth because very huge body. So all two values made 0. So here you are going to have, this is minus, u2 is 0, v2 is also 0 like this. And v1 is, it is fallen from a height of here like this. Okay, so final velocity means it is raised to a height of h2. That's why this is root of 2g h2. u1 is initial velocity of the body when it touching the earth, that is with a velocity of root of 2g h1. That is equal to root of minus 2g h2 by 2g h1. Here like this. But here we have to take up like this. One sign is taken as positive, second must be negative. Here from you have to take 0 minus of minus. That's why this will be considered as positive. So that equal to root of h2 by h1. When the body is hitting the ground, it will have the velocity root of 2g h1. That is u1. When it is rising up to a height of h2, it is having the velocity root of 2g h2. So coefficient of restitution is equal like this, root of 2g h2 by root of 2g h1. h2 by h1. This is the coefficient of restitution. Next one, same thing. Suppose consider a wall like this. A ball is allowed to hit the wall with a velocity of somewhat some v. Okay, some u like this. With a velocity of u, it hits the wall and comes back with a velocity of v. It will not come back with the same velocity. It loses its velocity at the surface of the obstacle. That's why, because of the coefficient of restitution, we can say velocity v is equal e into u. This is a very important. Velocity after the collision is equal to e, coefficient of restitution into initial velocity. This is the second one.